Peace. How are y'all feeling? How are you guys feeling? Let's just get into this over here. 1 second. Let me get everything loaded up. All right. Let's dive into it. Today, I want to talk about, I just want to take it from the beginning. In the beginning, I want to describe and give a description of who the Acre Boyzz are and what the Acre Boyzz have done, what we can offer you, what we have offered other people over the last 2.5 years, and bring it up to current date to what we currently have going on. So let's just start right there. First and foremost, the Acre Boyzz are active land investors. The Acre Boyzz have been land investing for the past 8 years. We are what we call to be land flippers, meaning that we buy land at deep discounted prices and we put it back on the market for a higher profit. That is what a land flipper does. Using these same strategies, using these same practices, it has allowed us to walk away from our 9-to-5 jobs in less than 3 years. It's a very profitable industry in business, right? The Acre Boyzz have opened up a program called Land and Legacy, teaching others how to do the exact same thing, how to buy properties for deep discounted prices, how to put them back on the market themselves and get them sold. Inside of our program, primarily, we do two things. We do something that's called tax deed investing. Let's stay there for 1 minute. What is tax deed investing? I'll be brief in my description of what tax deed investing is. Also, we teach something that's called just tax sale investing in general. We want you to have a general understanding of what the entire industry is when it comes to buying from auctions and buying from tax sales, all right, or tax delinquent properties. So in a nutshell, every homeowner across the country throughout America is responsible for paying taxes on their properties. Whether you own a home site or whether you own a piece of land, you are responsible for paying taxes on that land, right? When you don't pay the taxes on the land, the county, state, local municipality, they'll put a lien on the property, right? They'll send out several notices for you to pay your taxes. When you don't adhere to those notices, eventually they'll foreclose on the property and then they will become the new owner of the properties. But guess what? County, state, they're not in the business of owning properties, right? They're in the business of collecting tax-paying dollars on these properties. So they want to get them off of their books and have them back in the ecosystem so someone can pay the taxes on it, because that's how counties function in America, off of tax-paying dollars, i.e. your sanitation departments, i.e. your libraries and your school systems and things of that nature. All right. So they're eager to get these properties off of their books. And most times, once they take them to the auction, they're willing to let them go for what's just owed on them. Sometimes they let them go for even less than that. Pennies on the dollar. It depends on which county you are working in and which county you are investing in. Highly lucrative. This is where we got our start at. This is where we tell new investors, if you're looking just to get your feet wet, test the market, start with tax deed investing, right? Under that umbrella, we'll dive in a little deeper. Under that umbrella, there's three types of auctions that happen in that world. You have tax deed auctions, then you we focus on tax deed auctions. Why? Because tax deed auctions, most of those auctions, if you win the bid, you receive a deed for becoming the winning bid holder. Once you have your deed and it comes to you in hand, then you can put it on the market to sell. You may be thinking, how long is that process? Typically anywhere between 60 and 90 days. It could be shorter, it could be extremely longer, but on average, most of those places or most of these counties range from 60 to 90 days from winning a bid or winning or becoming the winning bid holder to receiving the actual deed in hand. All right. And when it comes to tax deed investing, the reason why we focus on it is because you can get in at great prices, little to nothing denominations. I'm talking $500. I'm talking $1,000. I'm talking $1,500. Now, I don't want you to think that this is a cheap space, because those denominations, what I just mentioned, you can get in at those denominations, because this is not. This can range all the way up to a couple of $1,000,000. Just depends on which county you're working in and which area that you're working in. But we've done a great job with identifying the least inexpensive places for you to find tax deed property or delinquent properties that you can still sell back and put them on the market and make a profit. Because just because it's a cheap property doesn't necessarily mean that it's a profitable property, right? So you still want to be able to find inexpensive places that still have some value. All right. So this is a great start for entry-level investors going that route, tax deeds. Inside of our community, we went ahead and we found these places for you already. So you wouldn't be coming inside of our community and have to go on your own search for these places. We provide these places for you. We give you a list and we give you a training along with that list, because it's one thing to know where to go and find these places at, and there's a whole nother thing to know how to participate in these places, right? If you're a new investor, how do you evaluate land? How do you look at land, right? Inside of our program, we don't go and see these properties. Those are live auctions. We buy properties virtually. We buy them from what they call the OTC list, over the counter. We wait for them to have went through a live auction, then hit the over the counter market, so we can sit home behind our computer, evaluate properties, make assessments, then make decisions on whether we want to buy that property or invest in that property or not. Once you have your deed, you can do whatever you like to do with your deed. You can put it back on the market and resell it. You can hold on to it, right? And just watch that area and see if it blossoms and blooms or appreciates over time. Whatever your strategy is, you can use that property if you want to use it for personal uses. You can do all of those things once you are the winner and have deed in hand. So that's tax deed investing in a nutshell. We have found a lot of different places for you to go and participate in these auctions. We covered a lot of different states. I'll name just a few that comes off the mind. The state of Arkansas, we covered that state. We covered the state of Pennsylvania. We covered the state of Michigan auctions, right? So there's plenty of places for you to go and find these tax deed auctions, all right? Next, inside of our program, we do something that's more profitable. If you're looking to make a lot more money being a land flipper, we do something that's called direct to owner. What is direct to owner? Direct to owner is when we go exactly to homeowners or landowners in any given state or county, and we present them with an offer to buy their property, right? Now, how do we gain such large amounts on these deals? We are in total control of these deals and these situations, because when you're dealing with auctions, you are at the mercy of the auction. In the rules of the auction, you have to abide by what they say. You have to abide by how much they say you can get the property for. You have to abide by what they say when you can get the property, when the deed is going to come. You have to abide totally by their rules. We bypass the auction when we go direct to owner. We set our own rules. I'm able to go after land at any given time. When I'm ready to go after land, I'll put out an offer. When we're ready to do so, we're in total control. We're able to offer whatever amount we want to offer for the land. So let's give a real scenario. So if there was an area that I wanted to buy land for, and land, let's just say a 2-acre or a 3-acre was going for $50,000 in that area, how would I make money as a land flipper if it's on the retail market for $50,000? That means I need to put my offer out there at a price that will allow me to still make money on it. Meaning that, what do you think a good offer would be if it's going for $50,000? How about you offer $20,000? How about you offer $21,000? That is how we make the money. You may be thinking, well, why? Why would someone sell that land for $20,000 if it's worth $50,000, right? There's plenty of reasons why people opt into these offers. At the top of that list is, frankly, they need money. In times like this, when there's a heightened state across the country, people are looking to liquidate an asset that they may not be using, i.e., if they're a homeowner or a landowner and they're not using the land and they're just sitting on it and they're paying taxes on it, plenty of times they decide, you know what, I have got my use out of the land. I'm not using it anymore. I can use an extra $20,000 right now. I don't have to put it on the market. I'm dealing with a buyer right now. I don't have to go to a real estate agent. This buyer wants to buy it right now. I'll opt into that agreement and I'll sell the property. The children might not want the property at the time, right? They can't pass it down because we know these days kids don't want to go outside and do anything with land, right? They maybe had plans of building on it. Things have changed, but there's a ton of reasons why people opt into these agreements to sell their land. So this is direct to owner. You need to know at any given time who owns the land in any given area so you can present them with an offer. That's something that we teach you inside of our program. If you wanted to go to Jackson County, Mississippi, and you wanted to target property in Jackson County, Mississippi, we'll pull up a listing of all the landowners in Jackson County, and then we would send offers, right? This is a data-driven business. We just don't send out offers and not know what we're talking about, right? We would research that area. We would figure out what the comparables are in that area. We'll figure out what that market is going for, and then that will allow us to come in and make a credible offer. I'll give you a tip. Once you're making offers, you don't want to come in too low, right? Because people are going to take you as a joke. And you don't want to come in too high because everyone is going to want to sell their land to you if you're too high. You want to be able to do your homework, find the sweet spot, find a reasonable offer that's not offensive, something that's still attractive, that will get people to entertain your offer and opt into your offer so you can make money. All right. So that's direct to owner. We show you how to do that step by step. We show you how to research areas. We show you how to pull comparables in that area. And then we show you how to get an effective campaign out the door so you could stand a chance at flipping some land and making good profits. When we're dealing with direct to owner, our profits can range anywhere from, on the low end, $10,000, ranging all the way up to a couple of $100,000 per deal. All right. We have had in our community, we have had investors make $100,000 in 1 month. We have had investors make $50,000 in 1 month. We had investors make $10,000 off of one deal. We've seen all kind of numbers, $20,000 off of one deal. All right. So very lucrative going direct to owner. How do you get involved with direct to owner? It does cost to send out a mail campaign. I want you to be totally aware of everything of what this encompasses. It does cost to send out a mail campaign. So I need you to understand that it takes some to make some. All right. It takes some to make some. All right. So those are the two things that we offer in our Acre Boy land flipping program. Now, the beauty that I like about our land flipping program is if we show you how to go out and do all of those things that I just stated, and you successfully find an interested party that wants to sell their land, you don't need the money to buy that land because we offer something that is called deal funding. What is deal funding? If you had a prospective seller that wanted to sell their property and the property was going for $40,000, and you didn't have the money to put up, or you didn't want to use your money to put up, we would step in and put the $40,000 up for you, right? We would be partners on that deal. This is all contractual. Once we put it on the market, once we took a look at the deal and we said we will green light the deal, we think it's a profitable deal, we can sell it for $80,000, we can sell it for $90,000, then we would provide the money, we would wire it over, we would show you how to complete the whole deal. Once it's on the market, let's just say it's sold at 80. We paid 40, it's sold at 80, there's a $40,000 profit. We will get our initial $40,000 back. Then the 40 that remains in the deal, we will split that with you equally down the middle. You would get 20,000, we would get 20,000. That is called an infinite return because you didn't assume any responsibility or you didn't have to put any money up in the deal. That's one thing that I find most attractive about all of this, what we do. We still use deal funding personally ourselves, right? I think that is a very smart thing to do is use other people's money, capitalize on other people's money, keep your money as working capital, continue to find deals with your working capital. Once you find those deals, tap into the deal funding. That way you can do something that's called deal stacking. That way you can potentially close 2 or 3 deals in one calendar month. And that's how you move the needle really quickly, by having deals on top of deals. We had an investor that made $100,000 in 1 month. That was because she closed on 3 deals in one calendar month. All right. So it's very, very lucrative when you can position yourself to close on multiple deals in one calendar month. All right. Next, let's move on. We have opened up a new product line that's set to drop in another month or 2. We're days away or weeks away from opening up our new product line. Our new product line is going to be called Acre Boyzz Farming. Now, you may be thinking, you don't look like a farmer. Well, you would be correct. I'm not a farmer, but we have went out and partnered with a real farmer in real life. He's been in the business for over 15 years. In real life, he's a farmer. He farms on 30 acres. He's a principal in real life by day. He has an agriculture school in Fairburn, Georgia, from grades K through 8. He's showing children how to farm at that age at that school. He's showing them how to farm for profit. So we've partnered with him and we came up with Acre Boyzz Farming, and we're going to be doing the same thing for you, showing you how to farm for profit. You may be thinking, well, I don't have land to farm on. Well, you start where you are. You can farm right from your windowsill. You can farm right in your home. You'll start there. You don't need to have large acreage to necessarily farm or grow. Why do I like this package or this program? I like it because it covers anybody that's health conscious. You may not want to farm for profit. You may just want to farm to grow things that's helpful to your personal needs. Let's say products like hibiscus roots and things like that. Teas, you can grow these right from your home. So we're going to be showing you these things step by step, how you can grow. Acre Boyzz want to be a part of things that's meaningful. The Acre Boyzz want to be attached to things that has impact. We want to be attached to things that we can put out to the public, get behind, that can actually help, right? We want to be involved in all things that's positive but powerful at the same time. So that's Acre Boyzz Farming. You can be involved in Acre Boyzz Farming. I'll put a link below in this video. You can join our free community, right? Once you're inside the free community, you'll be one of the first people to hear about the product or the program or the course once it drops. And then you'll come into that ecosystem. All products that we release, all programs that we release, you will have ongoing support, including our land flipping program. There's ongoing support. We train once a week. So you don't come into our ecosystem, then you're left alone. You're coming into a community, plus you'll be getting us as your guidance. And if you need any assistance, we'll be there at minimum, at least once a week. You'll be on a phone call or Zoom call with us, going over things and reviewing things, strategizing and coming up with new ways to find new deals or look at deals and evaluate deals just to ensure that you're doing the right thing. So that's Acre Boyzz Farming. As I stated, I'll drop that link below. Anybody that wants to be involved with Acre Boyzz Farming, get yourself on the waiting list, join the free community so you'll be the first to hear about that program once it drops. Inside of Acre Boyzz Farming as well, we'll be doing consultations. We understand that everybody may not be in the starting phase. If you're more experienced or have started doing some farming or on number, get your own farm number and set up your land to start doing some things on it. We will be offering that as well inside of Acre Boyzz Farming. What else is new for the Acre Boyzz? Soon we're coming out, really soon. All of these things are running at the same time. We'll be coming out with our own line of teas, herbal. We will be coming with Acre Boyzz teas. So those are our programs. Get involved. We'll love to have the right person. If this resonates with you, if this makes any sense with you, you see the phone number below. You can contact us or text us at that phone number if you have further questions or need any questions answered. My team is sitting aside waiting for you to text to get your questions answered at that number below. Now, let's switch gears. Let's go to something that I wanted to speak about. I wanted to talk about growth patterns when it comes to land, right? Land ownership and land growth patterns, right? I was doing some research on Arizona. And for most people, when they think of the state of Arizona, they think of desert land. And you will be correct. Majority of Arizona is going to be desert land. As it comes to growth patterns, because this is something that we teach, this is something that we study, you need to know what's happening next, what's coming next, right? Most people probably live in suburban areas or urban areas, so they don't think like this. They don't think about rural markets and new places to build and things like that. But in order to have space to build new things, you have to go where it's not built currently. So you need to target areas that land is still available and vacant, i.e. Arizona. So there's a place that I've been researching in Maricopa County, Arizona, in particular, Buckeye, Arizona. You can Google this up and you can see this yourself. Numbers over there have dramatically increased over the last couple of years. Land in that area is going in the millions. And I say that to say that there was a time 5 years ago, 6 years ago, that you could get 100 acres over there for some thousands. So the growth that has happened over the last few years is astronomical. So if you knew, if I would have invested in that area 5 years ago, 6 years ago, right, for thousands, now that same land is worth millions. Why? Why is it worth millions? Well, I know that a lot of AI companies are going over there because they need places to put these new tech sites and these new tech companies for AI. I know they're going and they're buying a lot, and they're buying large tracts and huge acreage to do so. So regular people, you can do the same thing, but don't go to Buckeye now because probably regular people don't have a few million to go invest in desert land. But you need to be aware. That's why we always preaching this word to get people involved. Because if you were studying this stuff and if you were aware and you were owning that land just 5 years ago, you would have a nice payday 5 years later. There's other places throughout the country. We never know what's happening next. That's why we study these things. That's why we say it's a data-driven business. We study growth patterns. We study what's happening and what's coming next in these areas. There's other areas that are blossoming and blooming, and it will continue to do this in this manner. Just exactly how I explained it. So we tell people to get involved once you see or hear an opportunity that resonates with you or makes sense. You should get involved because you may be doing a huge disservice to yourself, or you may be doing a huge disadvantage to your family. When is the right time to start? Now. And this is not a sales pitch. This is me just saying that you want to be involved in an industry that has shown over time it has consistently proven itself. Land is the first real estate transaction in the history of real estate. It was a piece of land. You don't have anything, buildings, houses. None of this exists without a piece of land attached to it. It will continue to be a profitable industry. It has always been a profitable industry, and this will go on. Whether you get involved or whether we're involved, this will continue to happen. Someone will always need a place to live. Someone will always need a place to grow. All right. So text that number that you see on the screen below. Get yourself involved. We wanted to come in, tap in briefly with you, and just explain to you some of the things that we have going on, some of the things that we do, some of the things that we have done. We're very passionate about what we put out there. We're very passionate about what we teach, and we love to see new people come in and win. For the record, most people that has came into our community, these has been first timers. They didn't have any previous experience before meeting us. They came in with a clear mind, open mind to learn, got the information, implemented the information, executed on the information, and the chips have landed where they're landed. So if that's you, if you're a go-getter, right, we'll love to have you inside, and we'll love to teach you what we have learned over the years. So that'll be it for this day. I wanted to come in briefly. You guys enjoy the rest of your weekend and your Saturday. If you're looking for us, join us on all social platforms at Acre Boyzz. At Acre Boyzz. It's not a .com. It's just at Acre Boyzz. If you're looking for the site, it's acreboyzzacademy.com. All right. Enjoy the rest of your weekend.